Hi, I'm Jen Spencer, and this is Jen Spencer's 10-Minute Book Club. Hi, readers. I'm Jen Spencer. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Tonight, we have a new author, Dana LeCheminant, and she is going to tell us about her new regency, although she writes mostly contemporary. So you probably ought to go check both of them out. If you ask a question or make a comment in the comment section below, you will automatically be entered to win a copy of one of Dana's books, The Thief and the Noble, and a copy of one of my books, Dandelion Meadows, in ebook form. Dandelion Meadows is a sweet romantic comedy in a town filled with quirky, delightful characters. You're just going to love it. So without further ado, here is Dana LeCheminant. Dana, hello. Thank you so much for being here today.
I am happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I have been looking at all the books you've done, and I'm so excited to hear from you. So tell us about yourself and about how you got into writing and kind of where your career's taken you so far.
So, I'm Dana. I grew up in Utah, born in Washington State, but I've basically lived here my whole life. I'm really outdoorsy, so if I'm not, at work or riding, I'm usually outside. I'll do a lot of riding outside also. But I'm pretty adventurous that way. So I do, backpacking, camping. I'll go hiking and whitewater rafting, and basically anything that gets me outside, I'm happy. Yeah, it's a good time. And then I read and write a ton. I've been telling stories since I was a kid. My first official book was about a tiger named George and his friend Henry the skunk. It's a very fun story. I have it somewhere. I need to find it. But I really started kind of really writing in about 7th grade. Just when I got into fantasy and I read Lord of the Rings and Aragon and things like that, and I really wanted to write that kind of thing. So I started writing in fantasy. I called it a novel, but it was like 50 pages handwritten. Like, it was not very long, but it was about dragons.
That's an endeavor though. In seventh grade, that's really good.
Yeah. So that was kind of my first finished work, and I was really proud of it, and it's never going to see the light of day, but that's okay. And when I got into college, I studied creative writing just because I wanted to go into editing and things like that. I never planned to really, I wanted to publish, but I never really planned to make it a thing. But I studied creative writing and got a bachelor's in that, and that's when I started writing more contemporary things. Thanks to one of my professors who kind of pushed me out of the fantasy box. Otherwise, I probably would have kept writing fantasy, but started writing contemporary. And then, it was 7 years after I graduated college when I finally took the plunge and published my first book. I just went self-publishing because I was just ready to go. I didn't want to take the time to wait to, query an agent and find a publisher and all of that. So I just kind of jumped right in, started indie, and now I'm kind of a hybrid, half independent, half traditional, and that's where I'm at right now.
So who's your publisher for your traditionally published books?
Covenant Communications.
Okay. It sounds like you have a day job. Do you still have a day job?
I do. Yep.
Yep. That's how a lot of writers operate, because you have to for a while. So what do you do for your day job?
I work for a company that's called TerraFlex. We make aftermarket parts for Jeeps. Okay. So I work in our warehouse and I run our production side of things, all the packaging, and keeps me busy, but pays the bills. Yeah.
Well, so how many books have you written that are published, either self-published or traditionally published?
I have 11 now, with the traditional one thrown in there. So I did 10 independent and then got the first traditional one in there. So that makes 11.
Oh, that's great.
Soon to be 12 almost.
So which book was picked up by Covenant?
So it's called The Thief and the Noble.
Okay.
This one right here. It's a Robin Hood retelling. So Regency, Robin Hood, which is really fun to do.
Oh, so fun. So is this I was looking at your book list. Is that your first Regency, The Thief and the Noble?
Yeah. Yeah, I've only written contemporary before now. So this was the first Regency I ever wrote ever. I've written a couple since then, but it's, yeah, first historical, and it was kind of a definite daunting task, but it was fun.
Oh, I love that. Did you feel like you had to do a ton of research, or was the research fairly manageable?
It was pretty manageable. I mean, one of those people who kind of hate research, so I only researched when I had to. Kind of rode some coattails of fellow authors who I know do their research. And the nice thing with having a Robin Hood story is I'm breaking all the rules anyway, so I didn't have to conform, because that's the point. All the characters are kind of outside of the norm and all of that, and it definitely helped being able to kind of jump from the traditional Regency setting.
Yes, that makes sense. Well, so that's so great. Well, tell us about this book, The Thief and the Noble.
So, like I said, it's a Robin Hood retelling, and I kind of went more with the legend of with Robin being nobility when he started out. And so my Robin, he started off poor. He inherited, rather than to the world of the rich, because he knows the side of the poor. He knows kind of how different it is between the upper class and the lower class, and he wants to kind of bridge the gap. And then Marion, who is also upper class, she realizes that there's a difference, and she doesn't know how to address the issues quite yet until she meets Robin and kind of jumps into his world, where he kind of goes after those who downtrod the poor and really don't help them out, and kind of do the opposite. So they target the people that they steal from are those who have hurt innocents, and it's just kind of them navigating how to better their world as best as they can.
I love that. That sounds like a darling book. I love stories like that. I love pushing the envelope, kind of, but who doesn't love a good Robin Hood story,
Right, and that's the thing.
And so is this the first book in a series?
I haven't decided. I kind of have half formats for school, but so far it's just a standalone.
Okay, well, it sounds really cute. So
Thank you.
What is your favorite romantic movie?
Favorite romantic movie? I love While You Were Sleeping. I can probably quote the whole movie from start to finish.
I love that
fun one
too. And I used to, when it first came out, we got the video, because it's that old. And I would watch that like once a month because I just adored it. And I hadn't watched it for like 10 years. And then this Christmas, it's kind of a Christmas movie. And so this Christmas, this friend of mine came over and she'd never seen it. And I'm like, oh, you've got to see it. So I watched it again, and I just adore it. I adore Sandra Bullock.
Right.
Oh, so fun.
I just love how just like happy it is all around.
I agree. So cute. Such a cute story. How Okay, so here's your last question.
Okay.
Stuck on a desert island, and you could only have a lifetime supply of toilet paper or chocolate. Which would you choose?
I would go with the chocolate, probably. I mean, I've been in the wilderness enough that I can survive without toilet paper. So having at least some form of food would be really helpful.
That's true. You are an outdoors girl. See, because I mean, I love to hike. I love to do outdoor stuff, but I have to have a toilet. I don't like to camp because I don't have a toilet nearby.
Yeah, I once went camping for 2 weeks straight, and our toilet was like a bucket, basically. It was
Yeah.
See, so I'd survive.
That would not be me, but that's okay.
Yeah, everybody to each their own, right?
That's right. Takes all kinds. So, well, Dana, thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure. Readers, remember, if you ask a question or make a comment, you'll be entered to win an ebook copy of my new book, Dandelion Meadow, and of Dana's book, The Thief and the Noble. which looks delightful. So be sure and pick it up. It looks like it's going to be really a fun book, and I know you guys will like it. Dana, thank you.
Thanks for having me.